Back-to-back LC explained how to trade without upfront capital. Did you know you can import goods without paying upfront? Sounds impossible, right? But businesses around the world do it every day using back-to-back LC. If you're in international trade, this strategy can help you scale your business without blocking your capital. Hey everyone, today we're cracking the code on a fascinating financial tool called the back-to-back letter of credit. Now that might sound a bit technical, but trust me, understanding this process can unlock some serious potential in global commerce. You've got a buyer that is an importer who needs goods, and a seller that is an exporter who needs to source those goods. How do they make it all work smoothly and securely? That's where the back-to-back LC steps into the spotlight. Intrigued? Let's dive in. So picture this scenario. A fantastic buyer in another country places a big order with our exporter. This buyer issues what's called a master letter of credit in favor of our exporter. This master LC is essentially a promise of payment from the buyer's bank. Make sense so far? Now here's where things get interesting. Let's say our exporter doesn't have all the raw materials in hand to fulfill this large order. What do? Well, they can use that master LC as leverage to get a second letter of credit issued in favor of their supplier to procure raw materials. This second LC is the back-to-back LC. Pretty neat, huh? So let's walk through the process step by step. The buyer-importer issues the master LC. As discussed, the foreign buyer starts by having their bank issue an LC to our exporter. This master LC then gets sent to the exporter's bank, often called the advising. The exporter applies for a back-to-back LC. Now realizing they need help with the goods, our exporter approaches their bank. This will be the issuing bank for the back-to-back LC. They essentially say, hey, I've got this solid master LC as collateral. Can you help me get an LC for my supplier? What do you think the exporter's bank will consider before agreeing to issue that back-to-back LC? Think about it for a moment. The bank issues the back-to-back LC to the supplier. Assuming everything checks out with master LC, the exporter's bank agrees and issues that secondary LC. This back-to-back LC is specifically in favor of the exporter's supplier, who could be local or even international. The supplier ships goods to the exporter. Now it's the supplier's turn. Based on the terms of the back-to-back LC, they manufacture and ship the goods directly to the exporter. Once shipped, the supplier will gather their shipping documents and present them to their bank to get paid under that back-to-back LC. The final exporter ships the goods to the buyer under master LC. Once our final exporter receives those goods from their supplier, they might do some final touches or production and then ship the complete order to the original buyer overseas. Just like the supplier, the final exporter will then prepare their shipping documents, this time under the master LC, and submit them to their bank. The final exporter's bank forwards the shipping documents to the buyer's bank for payment under master LC. Next up, the exporter's bank takes those shipping documents from master LC and sends them over to the foreign buyer's bank, essentially saying, hey, the goods have been shipped, time for payment. Payment settlement. This is where the financial magic happens. The buyer, importer, pays their bank for the goods under master LC. The exporter's bank then receives this payment and uses a portion of it to pay the supplier under back-to-back LC. And the best part? Any remaining balance is credited to the exporter's account as their profit. So you see how back-to-back LC acts as this clever mechanism, allowing the exporter to fulfill a large order without needing all the upfront capital themselves. It leverages the security of the initial master LC to facilitate a second transaction. Pretty ingenious, right? Now, I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Have you ever encountered back-to-back LCs in your work or studies? What other questions do you have about this process? Share your experiences and questions in the comments below. And if you find this explanation helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more insightful breakdowns of the world of finance and international trade.